What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Mr. McMahon realizes a big problem, a top female star returning to Raw, WWE planning a huge surprise return for Raw tonight, Austin Theory is John Cena, Vince demanded The Undertaker to lose to the superstar, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at Mr. McMahon realizing a big problem. Now, Mr. McMahon has a problem, and apparently he's found a way to resolve things. What is this curious quandary, you ask? Well, none other than what he sees as a number of wrestlers not fitting into their current roles, either as heels or babyfaces. That could be why Xia Li, who worked only one match as a babyface in February, inexplicably turned heel on the 22nd April SmackDown with zero build-up other than a random line of dialogue that no one was worthy of a protection anymore but her. A Wrestling News' Paul Davis reports, this is the latest example of plans suddenly changing in WWE. WrestlingNews.co was told that fans should expect more turns for several stars in the coming weeks, as Vince McMahon feels that some of the talent is being miscast right now. And although we're not doubting the veracity of Davis's report, this could be just another instance of Mr. McMahon getting bored and wanting to try something new with the toy collection, better known as the WWE roster. If Vince is planning some changes, let's hope that he at least puts some time into setting them up rather than having wrestlers turn with no rational reason driving their character change. As fans know, turns are one of wrestling's most powerful storytelling tools, as they can freshen up a character, show a side of a wrestler that fans have never seen before, whether it's a hero sinking to villainous depths or a long-time heel changing their way. While this problem isn't limited to WWE, the company has a poor history with turns in the last decade, as wrestlers have inexplicably turned with no underlying storyline motivation, or worse, made frequent turns in a short amount of time. The Big Show and Braun Strowman are two big examples, as it became a running joke that wrestlers bounce back and forth between the light side and the dark side like ping pong balls. This not only hurts a wrestler's character, but it reinforces the perception that storytelling is an afterthought. Are there any wrestlers that you think should turn heel or babyface? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, a top female star returning to Raw. The rumors are flying around that the WWE plans on bringing back a long-absent main eventer for a major program with Becky Lynch. Wrestling News' Paul Davis recently commented on a story from Reddit user Kermit125, someone who's actually been known for breaking big stories in the past, who claims that Becky Lynch will battle a returning Asuka. Lynch is set to return to the 25th April Raw, her first television appearance since dropping the Raw Women's Championship to Bianca Belair. If the Empress of Tomorrow does return, there's speculation the WWE might play off how Lynch relinquished the Raw Women's Championship to Asuka after Big Time Bex had to take time off for maternity leave, and the WWE awarded Asuka the belt following her 2020 Money in the Bank win. Asuka vs Lynch could be a fantastic series and a good way for both women to stay at the top without challenging for the Raw Women's Championship. Next up, WWE planning a huge surprise return for Raw. Now, Asuka may not be the only return wrestler to Raw, as there's talk that Mustafa Ali is on his way back to the Red brand. Fightful Select reports that the WWE is bringing back Mustafa Ali back after a long absence. Ali is perhaps best known for the WWE's incredibly inept handling of his characters, such as dropping compelling storylines like the SmackDown Hacker and the Retribution's faction war with the WWE. Ali's dissatisfaction has led him to asking for his release, with fans rallying behind the Free Ali movement, albeit with zero results. Whether Mustafa, who was last seen on television last October, gets any television time remains to be seen. Hopefully this is not just a ploy by WWE to humiliate Ali before he actually gets his release, kinda like what WWE did with FTR. But at least with FTR, we all know that had a happy ending. Next up, Austin Theory is John Cena. That seems to be the case, as Vince McMahon's plans come to fruition. WrestleVotes had this to say about the current US champion and Vince McMahon's vision for him. Now that his push is in full effect, sources states he anticipates bigger and better things for Theory. A person with direct knowledge states Vince sees a young John Cena in Theory and will give the kid everything he needs to be successful. Theory has enjoyed a powerful push since his 2021 Raw return, with Mr. McMahon taking him under his wing and guiding Theory's career. The 24-year-old star has some huge opportunities so far, including his appearance at this year's Rumble, his February slot in the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship, and his recent high-profile match against NFL star Pat McAfee at WrestleMania 38. Obviously, not to mention winning the US Championship from Finn Balor. Theory has a lot to offer in the ring, and the WWE is wise in pushing him as a heel, as it seems to fit his character perfectly. Raw could benefit from some fresh faces on the undercard, and Theory is one such person. While the WWE has been criticized for how it's handled Finn Balor's US title reign and Theory's wins over him, that shouldn't be held against him. But what do you think of Austin Theory becoming the new John Cena? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, AEW Rampage getting the Where's Waldo treatment. Or if you're in the UK, Where's Wally? Now, AEW fans have had trouble keeping up with Rampage's seemingly random television schedule. According to Dave Meltzer, fans should expect even more scheduling changes. Meltzer commented on this week's Observer, Rampage is going to be bounced around a lot. As far as I know, I think it's always going to air on Friday, but that might not even be 100%, but I think it's going to air on Friday. But it will be different times, and we really don't know the times. I know that TV guides right now list this Friday is going to be a regular time, and then May 6th it's listed at 6 PM Eastern Time, 3 PM Pacific because of playoffs, but it could change. That it's not necessarily the time, and then every week really until these playoffs are over. Now you may recall that Warner Media moved Dynamite from TNT to its sister station TBS. Rampage's ratings struggles are well known, and it might be wise to move the 1-hour show to a stable time slot. Could it be that Warner Media is losing faith with Rampage and less concerned with moving it? Next up, Vince demanded The Undertaker to lose to this superstar. Now, the WWE's portrayal of The Undertaker as a nearly unstoppable force has created opportunities for wrestlers to hit the next level by defeating the Phenom. One wrestler Vince McMahon sought to elevate with a win over Taker was Matt Hardy, who defeated the Deadman on SmackDown during Matt's run as Matt Hardy version 2.0. Matt recently discussed the situation on his Extreme Life of Matt Hardy podcast. Vince was very high on what I was doing there. I had a great relationship with them at the time. I love the fact that I was very grateful that Vince inserted me into their top feud on SmackDown, which was Brock and The Undertaker. It's almost like Brock and Paul Heyman were using me as an underlying, taking advantage of me to where I didn't realize it, because I just realized that was a big deal. As Matt recalls it, Vinnie Mac insisted that The Undertaker drop a match to Hardy. I'll never forget Undertaker saying, well, you know what, if we did this thing comes up and Brock fights me, and he does this and then we end up fighting out of the building, Brock drops me out of there somewhere. Vince said that's fine. He said he can drop you wherever, but at the end of this match, Matt Hardy has to get the pin on you. He was very adamant about that. Hardy explained that Taker wasn't against doing the job, but Vince insisted Matt get the 1, 2, 3, and Vince's support meant a lot. Now, Taker is one of the WWE's greatest performers ever, and part of the reason is because the WWE has traditionally limited the number of jobs he did during his 30-year run in the promotion, especially clean jobs. While there have been questionable exceptions such as the Great Khali and Vladimir Kozlov pinning him clean, the otherwise solid booking behind him helped maintain the Deadman's reputation as one of the WWE's most dominant forces. And finally, WWE adopting an AEW idea? And last but not least, are they going to adopt a ranking system similar to AEW? Or PW Insider's Dave Shearer is reporting that the WWE recently surveyed some of its fans about the product, including whether they'd be interested in a wrestler ranking system. Other questions include whether fans would like to see behind-the-scenes workings in WWE and whether they like WWE-themed NFTs. The idea of ranking wrestlers based on win-loss records wasn't started by AEW, but the promotion has stood by its ranking system since its inception, although how much it has affected booking is something AEW fans can debate. A ranking system in the WWE could make matches more interesting, but as fans know, Vince McMahon's notoriously short attention span could be an insurmountable obstacle for any type of long-term endeavor like a rating system. What do you guys think of the idea though? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.